Time with pregame coverage beginning at 5:30. Immediately following a shortened Jim, Matt, and Molly on Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN. Jim, Matt, and Molly starts right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
This is the end of an era in Milwaukee. It is a surprise when you trade one of the greatest players in franchise history. To be clear, that is what Khris Middleton is. He is one of the greatest players in Bucks franchise history.
How would you describe what Khris Middleton means to you?
Khris, you did it, huh? You f***ing did it.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is the end of an era for the Milwaukee Bucks. I think Ferris Bueller said it best, that life comes at you fast, so you better slow down and look around. I butchered that quote, but you get the idea, Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. He is Matt Hamilton. And we are in the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light, the Mountain Dew Blue. You know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
Molly Brown out with babies. Primetime Wollersheim behind the glass. I am on the ESPN Madison YouTube page in my Milwaukee Bucks crew neck sweatshirt. And you are in an Admirals gear for some reason today.
Because it's cool.
The Bucks are the story of the day. You're usually pretty good at this. What happened?
I wore my Bucks hat yesterday.
You got more than that. You got a Giannis jersey.
Oh, they got rid of one of the guys that was on the championship team. I'm not here celebrating it.
Just admit it. You just wanted to wear that. You forgot that you should wear Bucks things.
No, I stared at my Bucks jersey. I have
The
all
Bucks
my
play
jerseys
tonight
in
at
the same
5:30
spot.
on
And I
our
was like,
station.
do I want to be super gung-ho about this? This is a bittersweet situation. Like, was Khris Middleton probably getting overpaid for what he was providing to the team as a 50% available guy? Like, yeah, I think so. But he was also one of the guys, the big three that won this, Milwaukee at least, the championship, and Wisconsin and the Bucks. He was a major role player in that, and now the Bucks are down to 4 players from that championship team that are still on this squad. And Jim's already talked about getting rid of 2 of them for a bag of spoiled milk.
Well, we talked about that. They'd be lucky to get a bag of spoiled milk for Pat Connaughton. But we talked about that off air. So Bobby Portis and Pat Connaughton are 2 other players that I think the Bucks would be better off short-term and long-term if they were able to move off.
The only other one that you haven't said anything about is Brook Lopez. And he's been great.
I hope they let Brook Lopez walk in the offseason. But, yes, he's old.
So you're just like, thanks for what you did, championship squad. See you later. I'm wearing my Bucks gear because I'm excited that we're turning a new leaf.
There's only one thing and one person, and the only thing that matters with the Milwaukee Bucks, and that's Giannis.
Yeah.
The rest are all interchangeable pieces.
They're all interchangeable pieces as long as that one guy agrees with that piece change. Because if he doesn't, you're going to upset him. He's going to go into a darkness retreat. He's start going to believe in crystals, and he's going to go to the Jets.
Look, you're just trying to manifest
Giannis
acting like
they
an
got
ass
rid
like Aaron
of they got
Rodgers.
rid of Devontae, and Rodgers went extra crazy. Went fully off the deep end, and then
Aaron
bam,
Rodgers
gone the next season.
He's always been an ass. Giannis is showing no Rodgers tendencies.
You're right. He hasn't. But now it's another Wisconsin team that just keeps poking their star
you're
player.
Just scarred. Most professional athletes at this sort of level are big boys. They might have their feelings hurt, but they can put on their big boy pants and deal with it.
Yeah, maybe.
Aaron Rodgers was not. Neither was Brett Favre. But I think that is very
You're saying
rarely.
it happens.
Very right with the Packers, and specifically their snowflake quarterbacks. But like you have very specific sports scars, which are unique. And your sports scars are that you've had 2 quarterbacks who were elite, who were also giant man babies, who their feelings needed to be stroked at all times, and they needed to be feel like they were the most important person in the world every second of every day.
It's 2 in a row, and this is the first elite basketball player that I remember in Milwaukee. And I guess when the 2 quarterbacks that I spent 30 years watching are the ones that turned into giant man babies and did not appreciate when their organization did something that they didn't approve of, they left.
I trust Giannis that he can have multi-layered emotions, that he can be upset that the Bucks moved off Khris Middleton, but I think he also can look at the Milwaukee Bucks and said they re-signed him when they probably shouldn't have based off the injuries he was suffering through, and that has proven out. Khris Middleton's last contract was not worth the money.
Well, I'm not going to put Ryan on the spot. Maybe you can find it at some point. There's a quote of Giannis saying that we all have to play faster because Khris Middleton isn't fast anymore. Like, he's sitting there talking about, like, yeah, Khris Middleton's slow, so we play faster so he doesn't have to be fast. And to me, that was like the red flag. Like, when your buddy, the guy who's probably got your back more than anyone else on the team, is saying that everyone else is having to elevate their level of play and the speed in which they play to make up for Khris Middleton's lack of speed anymore, that's a red flag to me.
Right.
I'm not saying this is the wrong move either. I'm just not celebrating it with the Bucks stuff. I am Milwaukee, though.
I'm not celebrating it.
Let's go, Admirals.
I don't think the Bucks did anything wrong today. I
don't
know
think
if they
so
necessarily got bad. I'm excited for the future of the Milwaukee Bucks because, with all due respect, and I mean this not in a Ricky Bobby sort of way, Khris Middleton is due a lot of respect, and we need to thank him for being a incredibly key member of the Milwaukee Bucks title with Giannis, and a key member and an all-star caliber player for about a 6-year run with the Milwaukee Bucks. And that was an awesome run. He's going to go down, just off the top of my head, I guess it depends on what you feel like for how long a player has played there, but Giannis, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Ray Allen, and then you start talking about Khris Middleton. And I'm sure I'm missing someone in there. But that's where the conversation off the top of my head, that's where I go. As far as great Bucks. Now, he's somewhere between, he's better than Michael Redd and Big Dog as far as their career with the Bucks, but not as talented or, upper level as like a Ray Allen or Giannis or some of those great players. So Khris Middleton, and obviously wherever you feel about Drew and where he fits into that. But point being, Khris Middleton has a place and should be a Bucks Hall of Famer and has a place for the Milwaukee Bucks. The problem was his play was resembling a guy who was close to being a Hall of Famer.
Who had a double ankle injury.
Who was very close to being retired so he could then be a Bucks Hall of Famer. And that's not Khris Middleton's fault, but Khris Middleton was I think a baseline or average NBA athlete with an elite ability to score and high-level IQ, and that's what made him a great player. These injuries then decimated the athleticism he had, and it's 20-some minutes a game, 12-some points per game, and just
down to 23 minutes per game.
Yes, just not the player anymore, and it's sad. So if you are tuning in, the Milwaukee Bucks, by this point this trade was done first thing in the morning, but the Milwaukee Bucks have traded Khris Middleton, first-round pick. Matt, who was the Bucks' first-round pick last year?
Who knows? They even on the court?
A.J. Johnson.
Right, exactly.
20-year-old A.J. Johnson who...
So now he's a wizard?
He is a wizard. And then there's
You're a wizard, A.J. Hagrid.
And he gives off more of like Ron vibes.
Ron Weasley is A.J. Johnson.
Like Hagrid's elite.
Well, no, but the line is, you're a wizard, Harry.
Oh, is that?
You're a wizard, A.J.
Okay.
Thought you read the books.
I don't remember that line.
Fair.
I am reading the books. I was just saying I don't like Ron. That's basically it. I'm not going to miss AJ.
That's mean.
Side note, Ron is a problem.
That's fair. We can break that down later. We do that. Get to that tomorrow.
But Ron is a problem. All right. They also traded a second-round pick. Kyle Kuzma, Pat Baldwin Jr.'s contract papers come to Milwaukee. He is a former Milwaukee Panther and a high school standout in the Wisconsin area, but I don't think he's ever going to play a minute for the Milwaukee Bucks. That looks like a buyout or someone might get waived, or get moved again, depending on what the Bucks do before the trade deadline, and then also Washington's second-round pick. What is important here is that the Bucks, one, got younger, and I believe Kuzma's 29 years old, so they got younger. Kuzma, weirdly, it seems incredibly rare in sports, has a descending salary. And I believe he also waived some of his or all of his trade kicker. So now the Milwaukee Bucks are below, and this gets a little technical, but basically they're below a threshold that they used to be above as far as the salary cap and tiers of it. So now the Milwaukee Bucks, before they traded Khris Middleton, Matt, they couldn't, let's say, we'll trade you a bag of Mums for a nice bottle of champagne, Mums being like Bobby Portis and Pat Connaughton. We'll trade you that if you give us back one player who is better than them, but maybe has a contract that the other team doesn't want. Like, you can do that. They can now accrue salaries and trade them away as long as it's not more than what the players had. But prior to Khris Middleton, they were above that threshold, and then they were not allowed to do that. You had to trade player for player.
Right.
So that's where they talked about yesterday. We talked about you had to attach 75 draft picks to Pat Connaughton to get rid of him. Now that's maybe not the case.
You're so mean.
I didn't make that. Like, it was, 4 picks? It was like 4 second rounders to get rid of Pat Connaughton was the reports out there. So now the Bucks have some flexibility. So hopefully this is step one of a 2-step plan. But the Bucks are younger, and they're betting on Kyle Kuzma to be the player he was just last year. Last year he was about 22 points a game, league average 3-point shooter, and he knocks down a good jumper. And he is a guy who can be, I think, league average, slightly above defensively. And he's healthy and younger. And with the Lakers, he was a key role player on their championship. So if he can be somewhere
bubble championship team?
Yeah, but if he could be a role player plus, like a role player 2.0, that's maybe what the Bucks need, is a younger guy who can get out there and run with Giannis and Dame and provide some athleticism and some youth. And maybe just a little bit of Kuzma's a different guy. Like, so maybe that could add to it. He's got fun hair. He's got crazy styles. Like, he brings a little something different to the team. And so that could be useful as well. Matt, you're going to like him because he's just got some flair to him.
Okay, I mean, I'm here for that. I mean, Khris Middleton was the opposite of flair.
Khris Middleton was, what is the most like cool but also straight-laced pair of shoes you can think of, like athletic shoes? Like leisure wear, like, obviously they're not Dunks, but like whatever that was, like
New Balance.
Maybe Panda Dunks.
New Balance isn't bad either, but he wore them unironically and not cool, like a cool way. Like Khris Middleton was New Balance.
Yeah,
judgmental.
But
Jim.
New Balances are cool now.
Says
that's the ticket though.
But I just
says
said
Kawhi.
But
Khris Middleton is sock knees.
But not everyone. But not everyone who wears New Balances are wearing them in a wink,
cool
I'm
fashion.
cool guy way. It's more of like, I like New Balances, and that's where Khris Middleton would fall into that.
All right,
like they're a comfortable, smart shoe. And you know what, Khris Middleton, a comfortable, smart basketball player to help the Milwaukee Bucks win a championship.
That is true. That's what
he is a Bucks legend. And I thank you for everything that he's done for the Milwaukee Bucks. But he also had to get moved. Because here's the other part of it. If the Bucks have any chance of doing anything this year or next year, they had to move off Middleton. Because he has a player option. Now they have flexibility even next year. Because Brook Lopez, they could let him walk. They could sign and trade him. They now, I believe, have a mid-level exception. Now they could sign another free agent who's actually like a good player, instead of signing all these guys to 1-year league minimum contracts. So now the Bucks have a little bit of flexibility. Maybe they crack the window for next year to keep this team together.
Yeah, I think they will. Like you said, they brought some youth in. Kuzma, as far as I know, granted he's injured now, but like he doesn't have a strong injury history the way Khris Middleton does. I have high hopes that when he does finally get healthy and can contribute to this team, he's going to be helpful. Is it enough to push us over that Eastern Conference final, or at least to the Eastern Conference final? I don't totally know. But I think there's a chance that he could be good. So, I don't know. I look forward to how this goes. I'm excited for it, but at the same time, like I said, it's bittersweet. I liked Khris Middleton. I love what he did for the team, and it's I'm happy the Bucks are moving forward. You have to move forward if you want to stay relevant in the NBA. But, like I said, it doesn't mean you can't be a little bummed about it.
I guess I'm just not – I don't want to use that account. But, like, sometimes when you know something is coming – like, I make this this joke of like, hey, if someone passes away at like 97 years old, you're like, you've been kind of ready for it for a while.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it any easier.
Oh, it makes it dramatically easier, at least for me personally. Like if I knew this was coming. The death of that team was coming. I'd already come to grips with it.
Yeah.
I already wrapped my brain around it.
I get that, but like when it finally happens, it's still like, man.
No.
Remember the good times?
No.
Remember back when we won a championship? That was so cool.
It was.
Yeah.
But I'm not a nostalgic person.
Judgmental Jim.
We all know.
You're choked up over there. Go to Carbon World Health for your chance, whether it's GLP-1s or testosterone replacement. Carbon World Health can help you get back to the best you. Testosterone replacement can help you lose weight, keep your energy, and have the testosterone levels that are right for you, not right for your age. And then also with GLP-1s, you can talk to them. Dr. Nestor Rodriguez has been on the forefront of this, the FDA-approved game-changing weight loss drug. He's been on the front of this. He can figure out if it's right for you. The team at Carbon can come up with the right plan. Nestor and Ashley are the team to go to at Carbon World Health to make sure that you reach your goals in 2025 as far as your fitness goals. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light.
The Khris Middleton era is over in Milwaukee.
This is the end of an era. For the last 12 years, it has been Giannis Antetokounmpo and Khris Middleton.
React to the Bucks blockbuster trade right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of Bucks basketball.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At MadisonWeightLoss.com, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally, and safely with no drugs or injections, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, or exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can lose weight quickly and keep the weight off for good with an easy-to-follow maintenance plan that includes ongoing personal support. And our program costs half as much and works up to twice as fast than most other programs. Go to MadisonWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation now.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. Madison Weight Loss is the real deal. I was able to drop 40 pounds simply by changing what I eat. This program really works. Schedule a free consultation to see how the program can help you achieve your goals at MadisonWeightLoss.com.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation now at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Come see Pal at the Neary Spring Home Improvement Show February 14th through the 16th. Learn about our incredible design team with an ability to customize windows to match your unique home. Pal Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is now offering windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Rest easy with our 10-year installation warranty. Book your in-home consultation at the show and receive a complimentary DesignWorks consultation and a PalaCare inspection. Visit PalaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Talk Badger sports year-round with the Jump Around podcast.
The one thing I learned from Coach Alvarez is the plan to win.
Tune in for the Top Badgers conversations every week, featuring special guests with Wisconsin players, coaches, and more.
In my mind, and a lot of the alumni mind, kickoff starts now. Everything we do between now and August 30th, 2025, we're determined where we go as a program.
The Jump Around, brought to you by Steinhoffels. Streaming live every Thursday on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel and available wherever you get your podcasts.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
The Bucks have made their move, trading Khris Middleton for Kyle Kuzma.
Very much the right move for the Milwaukee Bucks. They've been desperate to get younger. They needed to get younger.
React with us here all day on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of the Milwaukee Bucks.
It is a surprise when you trade one of the greatest players in franchise history. It just is. And to be clear, that is what Khris Middleton is. He is one of the greatest players in Bucks franchise history. He's first in the franchise history in three-point makes, third in points, third in assists, seventh in rebounds, and he was the number 2 guy on the team that won a championship.
That was Eric Name from The Athletic on Wilde and Tausch this morning. He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. We're in the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. Molly Brown out with babies. Primetime Laura Shine behind the glass. Jim, Matt, and Molly presented by Coors Light. And we are talking to Milwaukee Bucks and the end of an era with Khris Middleton and what the Bucks will do now. Before we get to some more audio, I want to throw out our first Siding Unlimited poll question at ESPN Madison. On the Carbos Talk and text line as well, 844-770-3776. List is more. Will the Milwaukee Bucks win another title with Giannis? 844-770-3776. That's the Carbos Talk and text line. List is more. Look, we initially were thinking, is this the Bucks' last chance with Giannis? All these other ways around it. But honestly, what we're asking right now is the era already dead? If we're doing Taylor Swift style, are we dead and don't realize it?
I don't think we're quite dead yet. Dame is still Dame. He's young enough. What? I mean, he's still not out of his prime yet.
He's out of his prime.
Okay, he might be out of his prime, but he's
still a good basketball player, yes.
Really good basketball player. Giannis is a top 3 basketball player in the NBA?
Yes. Yeah, Dame is 34 and will turn 35 at the start of the offseason. So he is at the end of his prime.
This is about the last year of him being.
He's not
this
the Dame
year,
was,
last year.
Yeah, he's not the Dame he was with Portland.
But I do think he's got enough in the tank and just the clutch ability that we know Dame has as far as shooting goes. Dame still got it. I think that there's still a chance. I think it's a little bit of an outside chance. You're going to have to catch lightning in a bottle.
Dame was last at all in any sort of MVP conversation 2020 season when he was 30. So he's still a very good basketball player. He's not fallen off like Khris Middleton fell off, but he has gone from MVP candidate to All-Star. Yes,
I agree with that. And I still think that with Giannis, who is an MVP candidate, is more than a lot of teams have, and you can win with that. It's just going to have to be team basketball. You're going to have guys playing both ends of the court. You're not going to be able to just do it on offense or defense. You need guys like Giannis who can put up a heck of a fight on defense and can also play good offense. So I don't know where Kyle Kuzma fits into this. I know he's a better defender than Middleton from what I've been hearing, and he's obviously younger. So those are your big 3 now.
This is from the Ringer here that I want to share. And again, you can chime in 844-770-3776 on the Carbos Talk and text line. List is more. Our first Siding Unlimited poll question: will the Bucks win another title with Giannis? So this is from the Ringer. It says, so it turns out the Bucks really were trying like hell to trade for Kyle Kuzma. And basically, beyond opening up more flexibility, the deal is lateral at best. It'll be a tough pill for the Bucks fans to swallow. Middleton's contract had become onerous, as injuries eroded the tail end of his prime. But at the very least, he was their guy for 12 seasons. It's not easy to get excited about Kuzma, a player who may have cursed himself by casting aspirations on the inglorious Detroit Pistons last year. He currently is in the throes of his worst season as a pro, playing as the Wizards, but they are a pretty bad team, so maybe that's a part of it. On the plus side, he's 4 years younger than Middleton, has had a handful of impactful postseason games for the Lakers en route to their bubble championship. Of course, that might as well have been a lifetime ago. He's played only one round of playoffs since. Kuzma moonlit as a primary option for a little bit in D.C., but having a clearer role could help him in Milwaukee. Bobby Portis found structure under Giannis and playing with Giannis, so maybe the Bucks can get something similar out of Kuzma. And then what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think it's a little bit better in a lateral move because you have a guy that you should be able to play more games than Khris Middleton, and we've said it a million times, the best ability is availability. So, like, that's going to be a big factor. Just him being on the court more often than Khris Middleton would be is going to help your team.
And so then the other part here is where Milwaukee goes from here could determine how the rest of the Giannis era shakes out. The Bucks have some future first-round picks to play with and a couple of sturdy salaries they could use to add another impact player. Lineup versatility will matter in the playoffs. The Bucks have made a whole lot of hay with their front line of Giannis and Brook over the years, but acquiring some more perimeter talent could open up the team's playbook. Some of the Bucks' best lineups this season have made use of Giannis at the 5, where he spends nearly 40% of his minutes. As ever, everything hinges on Giannis, the burden he's willing to carry, and how much the Bucks can do to lighten that load. Make too small of a move now, and the era could be in shambles. Make too big of a move, and any hope of a different future could be stolen. It's an awfully tight rope for the Milwaukee Bucks to walk, but the answer is still out there. But it sure as hell isn't Kyle Kuzma. That's Danny Chow from The Ringer.
Wow, he sounds like a real Bucks fan.
Well, he's an NBA guy. We're not asking for Bucks fans' takes on this.
Yeah, I mean,
thank you.
I don't know if anybody out there who saw this trade was like, wow, that's going to be the thing that puts us over the edge. But it might be a guy who's available. It might be a guy who finds a little bit of a second wind in Milwaukee because he's got some better players around him to help set him up, as opposed to where he was with Washington, and you might have some trade value in the offseason for him.
Yeah, that's basically what he said. But he said this isn't...
No, I'm agreeing. Yeah, I agree with what he said, but like it's still a stepping stone to somewhere you'd rather be. His contract is a lot more appealing than Khris Middleton, so to say it's just a sidestep, his contract's more appealing. He's younger. He's not as injury-plagued. He can be more of an asset in a trade than Khris Middleton is.
Before we go to break, let's get to Benji and Madison, 844-770-3776. The Carlos Talking text line list is more. Hey, Benji.
Hey, how you doing, y'all?
We're doing fantastic.
Hey, I think, well, great. Hopefully you're not under any obligation to crush Coors Lights again. Maybe something better this year.
We love our Coors Light. But thanks, Benji. What do you want? What do you got?
Yeah. He said with air quotes. Anyways, I think the Bucks really kind of lost an awful lot when they traded for Dame and they had to get rid of Jrue Holiday. I think he was really the leader in there, and he could defend and score at will. So I don't know if they're going to be able to win with Dame. Just because he is a complete defensive liability. But maybe if they could bring in Kuzma and maybe, you can bring in Jimmy Butler, something like that. Maybe you can recreate Jrue Holiday in the aggregate. That's all I got to say. Have a great one, y'all.
Thanks, Benji. We'll maybe ask Gabe Netizel about that on the other side. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
One word captures why so many businesses choose to do business with James Imaging Systems. Local. Local business technology. Local support. Local accountability. Listen to James' client Daniel Bertelson, RE/MAX Preferred CEO.
James Imaging is one of the vendors that we use to move all of our documents and set up networks and utilize their equipment for scanning and storage purposes.
Local support works for James' client Josh Gabel, Service Manager with Kirsch Appliance.
Yeah, things happen. They can come out and fix it and leave us to what we're needing to do.
Jennifer Wilger, Purchasing Manager with Baker Manufacturing, likes the local accountability from the James Imaging Systems people.
They're an absolutely wonderful partner for us. They go above and beyond.
Local business technology, local support, local accountability. Get it all from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, Hims can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Searching for the perfect brunch spot this weekend? Look no further than the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company. Every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., indulge in the Great Dane sweet and savory brunch menu paired with mimosas, Bloody Marys, or one of their signature beers on tap. Enjoy at any of their 4 Madison area pubs, downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison. Learn more and view the full menu at greatdanepub.com/brunch. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's original brew pub since 1994.
The Khris Middleton era is over in Milwaukee.
This is the end of an era. For the last 12 years, it has been Giannis Antetokounmpo and Khris Middleton.
React to the Bucks blockbuster trade right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of Bucks basketball.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar studio. Matt Hamilton dancing in like that was a plan, but he late back to the Everlight Solar studio.
It was a plan, Jim.
No,
Fashionably late is the plan.
You needed to go out there and get
mingle
your fill.
amongst my people.
Well, you just need your bucket filled. You're a golden retriever. You need to go out to the Everlight Solar studio and get pet.
There's nothing wrong with getting your bucket filled.
When it's late to the show, there is.
I knew I had at least until you introduced the show.
We had nothing to talk about?
Tons of time.
We had nothing to talk about in the break?
No, I did.
No, with you and me? No?
Oh, no.
No,
We're good.
no. Primetime Laura Sean behind the glass.
Talk to you on the air.
This
I
is
wanted
why
to save all my good takes.
We moved the show back because Matt can't handle being around people because he just wanders off. And then he's still out there wandering off. We have to tell everyone there's no contact rule for Matt Hamilton. Don't acknowledge him. Don't pet him. Don't give him any attention because otherwise he's just gone.
Just put a cone of shame on him,
A
honestly.
sad golden retriever
like a
is no
shock
fun.
collar. Like a shock collar. Like the second he leaves the actual studio part, zap him and bring him back in. You know who never wandered off on me was Gabe Netizel. Gabe Netizel joining the show, calling the game tonight with Justin Garcia. Gabe, thanks so much for taking the time on a busy day. You're more reliable apparently than Matt Hamilton is, so we appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me. And trust me, you don't want to put the cone of shame on him. I've been doing that with my dog. My dog broke his leg like 11 weeks ago. And, every time I have to leave the house, I got to put the cone on him. And it just breaks your heart every time you do it. So Matt, I'm rooting for you not to get the cone of shame.
Yeah, and, no one likes a sad dog. Come on,
exactly.
let's be real. I'm totally with you, Gabe.
Good. Dog in danger of getting the cone of shame doesn't want the
and
cone of
here's
shame.
the thing. Just because Gabe didn't wander away when you guys were doing a show didn't mean he didn't want to. I just have the audacity to go do it.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. That is absolutely fair. Gabe, the ringer we just read last segment, not the most ringing endorsement of this trade, said lateral at best, and I think the punchline at the end of the review of this trade has me a little bit worried, but maybe the Bucks will do some other moves. So here's the ending sentence for this article. It's an awfully tight rope for the Milwaukee Bucks for them to walk between adding a player that can help them now without destroying their future. But the answer's out there, and it sure as hell isn't Kyle Kuzma. So I want to get to Khris Middleton's legacy here, which is obviously immense. 12 great seasons out of him. But first, let's talk about this move and what it could be a precursor to and what Kyle Kuzma could bring to the actual Milwaukee Bucks on the basketball court.
Yeah, I mean, who knows if it is a precursor? I'm curious as to why it hasn't been made official. Like, the Bucks haven't announced it. Obviously, the Wizards haven't announced it. So I don't know if they're, they've kind of agreed to this in principle, and if they're trying to add another team, and maybe, Kuzma isn't a part of, the Bucks' plans. My guess is ultimately that's where he ends up. But I'm wondering if that is part of the reason, because I guess I'm with the ringer. I have a hard time seeing what Kyle Kuzma does bring to this team, other than a little bit more youth. Some athleticism clearly, but I don't see where he fits in. The starting lineup, he's got to be coming off the bench, and my guess is that John Horst and company are betting on a bounce back, because this is a guy who did average 22 points a game last year, but now he's down to 15, and it's a career low in shooting percentage, a career low in 3-point percentage, and the minutes are certainly down for the Wizards. So I think they're betting on a bounce back, but it's a tough one to kind of wrap my head around, because I don't quite see where exactly he fits in the way that I think they envisioned Khris kind of, fitting in as he continued to get healthier and healthier.
Do you think that maybe that down year is because he was asked to be too much on one team? Like, his best season when he was playing with the Lakers and there's plenty of other stars and mouths to feed, is less pressure on him, maybe not your best defenders on him because there's better players on the court. I'm thinking maybe Dame and Giannis, there's a chance that he can get back to that similar role.
Yeah, I think there's certainly some athleticism that he brings to the table, and he was asked to do less this year, I think, by the Wizards, and they were kind of leaning more into the guard play and Jordan Poole and guys like that. But, in terms of getting minutes with Giannis, a guy shooting 30%, from the 3-point line, that's tough to play, because that means he's not going to be sharing minutes with a guy like Andre Jackson Jr. You just can't have two guys on the floor that aren't really able to space it properly when you have a guy like Giannis on the floor. So I'm really curious kind of how that all fits together. I think he does bring, again, they wanted to get younger. This is an older team, so I understand wanting to get younger. But I don't think you make the trade just to get young, because, again, I think Khris Middleton still had a lot of value with this team, a lot of the chemistry with Giannis, and I think you saw that in the last game that they played with, the lob he had against Memphis, and they've got a lot of different moments like that where suddenly the two-man game, they just fall into it. I think that would have gotten better as the season went along, but ultimately they wanted to have the flexibility to get under, and again, it gets boring talking about, economics, but getting under the second apron in the NBA CBA allows them now to be more flexible and potentially add another piece if there's something out there for them.
Is this the stepping stone to Jimmy Buckets in Milwaukee?
I can't imagine Jimmy Butler would ever be in Milwaukee. No, I can't imagine that fits. Because, again, I just don't know where the fit is. Like, the problem with Jimmy is Jimmy always has to be the best player on his team. And when Jimmy's not, then Jimmy's a problem. And guess what? This year, Tyler Hero surpassed him as the best player. Now, all of a sudden, Jimmy's a problem. Jimmy was a problem in Philadelphia because, Joel Embiid was better. He was a problem in Minnesota because Karl-Anthony Towns was better. And that's just kind of the way Jimmy's gone. If he's not your best player, you end up having issues. And he would not be the best player in Milwaukee. He wouldn't be the best player by a long shot. And, with that $50 million option he's got for next year, that my guess is he was going to want to pick up, because after all this, who's going to give him a huge contract? That's a huge number to be on the hook for if, whoever ends up, I guess, dealing for Jimmy Butler.
Talking with Gabe Netizel, who's on the call for the Bucks game tonight, and we are leaving the show early so Gabe can call the Bucks game tonight, and we're excited to hear that call. And Gabe, I want to get to the legacy of Khris, and then maybe the effect on Giannis, and then his long-term future here. Obviously, no secret that Giannis and Khris were close. Khris Middleton is a Bucks Hall of Famer. He's going to go down probably as a top 5 Milwaukee Bucks player of all time, just off the top of my head. And so he should be celebrated for what he did here. But unfortunately, that last contract they signed was just a bad financial decision because he just never got healthy, and his career is ending as a injured player who has kind of turned into a role player, and the Bucks or most teams can't afford to pay a guy like that. So his legacy, your thoughts on that, and then also, what do you think Giannis, as far as his reaction to this, will be? Because Giannis is a smart player. As I reminded Matt, not everyone is Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, and not everyone has to pout when moves are made and your friends are traded. So how do you think Giannis is going to react to this?
I'll start with the Giannis part first because he was asked about it, and there's video out there from the Journal Sentinel about after their shoot-around today. And he just kind of talked a little bit. I mean, it's not a long video, about 2 minutes or so, but talked about how tough it is, as him and Khris were together for 12 years, and how tough it can be to say goodbye to somebody you've won a championship with. Said it was goodbye, hard to say goodbye to Drew, and whenever some of the other guys, Pat and Bobby and Brooke and some of the other guys that are still around that were a part of that championship team, it's just going to be hard to say goodbye. And he said he's going to have a relationship with Khris after basketball, and it's tough because he called Khris, he's like a brother, and he had spent more time with Khris over the last 12 years than most of his family, I guess, other than Thanasis, because Thanasis has been around a lot. But I think so. It's going to be tough for him, I think, to process. In terms of Khris Middleton's legacy, you nailed it. I mean, he is a top 5 Buck of all time. He's number 3 in scoring, most 3-pointers, been around. And the Bucks don't win a championship in 2021 without Khris Middleton. Like the way he was able to take over the Hawks series after Giannis goes down, and even the contributions he had in the NBA Finals. He scored 40 points in a Finals game. Like those guys don't grow on trees, man. Like that's a short list of guys that have scored 40 points in an NBA Finals game. So he was somebody that was able to do it. I think he's still underappreciated a lot by the fan base, but he brought a lot, and the Bucks don't have that championship in 2021 without him. I think that, based on some of the other numbers that they have retired up there inside Fiserv, like someday Chris's number should be up there because that's how important he was to the Bucks, and that's how important he was, to this team over the course of 12 years.
So, as for the Bucks kind of moving forward here, is there like the perfect play in your eyes? Like what would you want to see the Bucks do to give them the best shot at getting another title?
In terms of winning, and in terms of winning this year, I'm not quite sure what that move is. I mean, the perfect move to me was they were, a week or so ago, kind of linked to potentially Zach LaVine, and obviously that doesn't happen. He's traded away. If they could have turned Khris Middleton into Zach LaVine, I'd be sad today because I'm a huge Khris Middleton guy, but I think I'd also be excited because you get younger and you get a guy who really fits and can do a lot of the things that you want Khris to do in terms of being a defender and being a shooter, and he just fits a little bit better. Obviously, that didn't happen, and that's not a move that can happen anymore. So I'm not sure what that perfect move is here. But the one thing that John Horst has been, since he's been the Bucks general manager, he's been creative. He's come up with a lot of different solutions. And now they've got a little bit more flexibility that they're under that second apron. So I don't know if they've got another move that they are necessarily going to be making this year, but, they're going to have some flexibility, hopefully, for next year going forward.
Yeah, and we're talking with Gabe Netizel. And Matt, I referenced this before, but because of the Khris Middleton trade, which makes me think that maybe they're at least going to try to do something else, is that they do have room below the apron. Now they can aggregate players. They can put 2 players together and trade. We talked about it before. I'll trade you a bunch of mums for a nice bottle of champagne. Like the Bucks can now package together assets that maybe aren't great, but the salaries combine together, and they can bring in someone that fits their timeline better. But as the Ringer and Gabe is referencing, and Gabe, I want your thoughts on what your gut tells you they will do is they're going to try to find they're going to walk a fine line here because they got about a 1.5-year window with Giannis and Dame, and then the whole thing is either going to be blown up with Giannis or blown up without Giannis, and so John Horst has got a lot of work in front of him. So do you think they just put their their trade assets in a holster and walk away, or do you think they try to really push hard to find something that can help them over the next 1.5 years?
Well, I think they're going to try, Jim. Like, I don't know how they don't. Because, the other thing that Horst has always been, he's been active at the deadline. You can argue whether or not the moves have worked, right? Like, P.J. Tucker worked. Jay Crowder, not so much, right? Like, some of the moves have, some of the moves haven't. But he's always been aggressive around the deadline. He's always been looking for ways to add. And, and try to make the Bucks competitive. And if they don't do anything else after this move, to me, that's because they just couldn't find the right deal. Like they've been calling and we're trying to work out trades. Brian Windhorst had the report after they started 2-8 that they were basically calling everybody in the league trying to figure something out. So I think that the Bucks are going to remain aggressive. And, it's not a team that's going to, just kind of sit back. They've always been aggressive. It's the way John Horst has done things. So if they don't add another piece before 2 o'clock Central Time tomorrow, it's because they couldn't find the right trade partner. They couldn't find the right people to say yes. But I feel very comfortable in saying that John Horst is at least going to try to find something.
Last thing, one positive from the articles that I read is that they used Bobby Portis, the Ringer did, as an example of someone that got better as a consistent basketball player in Bobby Portis because of the Bucks structure. So how optimistic are you that Kyle Kuzma could be a mix of what he was even last year with the Wizards at 20-some-plus points per game, a better shooter than he is currently, and the guy with the Lakers, when he could be in a room, basically the culture of the Bucks, with Giannis, with Dame, winners, MVPs, and Doc? Like, how much do you think the culture of the Bucks and structure of the Bucks could fix a guy like Kuzma, who probably basically was in basketball hell with the Wizards?
Yeah, the Wizards are a very unserious franchise, right? Like it's just where basketball careers go to die. So do I think the Bucks are going to get a good version of Kyle Kuzma? I do, but the problem with Kuzma is, and I go back to it before, okay, let's say he's even shooting, some of his career best numbers. That's 33, 34% from three. That's still not good enough. That's just not a good enough shooter, I think, to really have the value with the Bucks. Because with somebody like Bobby can get hot from downtown. He can hit those corner threes. And while, a lot of times I think Bobby in the post can slow down the offense, when Bobby is going right, you can kind of see it all working and all moving together and how that piece fits. I'm curious to see how it all works with Kuzma. But again, just the overall shooting numbers throughout the course of his career, again, he can get to the rim. He can finish there. He's not a good enough outside shooter, I think, to really make a ton of sense for the Bucks. But maybe they're able to figure something out. Maybe they know something we don't, and they're able to push more in transition because he's a little bit younger, and Dame has talked about playing a little bit faster this year. So maybe they can make that work with him, again, because I think Kuzma's going to be a bench piece coming off the bench and getting some mix and match minutes whenever he gets to Milwaukee.
Gabe, awesome stuff. We're looking forward to hearing you on the call tonight.
Yeah, should be fun. Thanks, boys.
All right, that's Gabe Netizel. You can listen to him on Bucks Basketball starting at 5:30 here on ESPN Madison. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We're going to do Minute to Win It in a minute. But, Matt, tell us about Metcalf's Market.
Oh, I can't say enough good things about Metcalf's Market. No worries about getting traded away. They're fourth-generation, family-operated Metcalf's Market. Local as local gets. They've got the local cheeses. They have local fare, especially for Valentine's Day, hand-dipped chocolate-covered strawberries, locally crafted chocolates, heart-shaped ribeyes, and more. All of your Valentine's Day needs can be picked up at Metcalf's Market. And the best part about Metcalf's is the Metcalf's Rewards. Thousands of coupons everyday items to save you money. Free to sign up for Metcalf's Rewards. So go to your local Metcalf's Market, whether it's from Wauwatosa, on the west side near West Town Mall, or at Hilldale Mall, and get yourself that Metcalf's Rewards and bring local home.
Get out of my studio. We got to play.
You were just complaining about me not being in here. Now you want me out?
You can go meander.
Golly, that guy can't make up his mind.
Again, we need to put out a bulletin. Do not talk to Matt Hamilton during the show because he cannot be trusted to be here on time.
Wrong way, Matt.
He needs to go out and get his attention
but
from
he needs to go the other way so we can't hear the radio.
But he doesn't. Matt, you are... God. Can you pop? I'm going to talk for a second. Can you go tell his dumb ass that he has to go somewhere else because he can hear the radio? Thank you. So this is Jim, Matt, and Molly. While we wait for Matt Hamilton to be told where he can and can't go, because, again, he's so desperate for attention. He walks into the sales pit here at ESPN Madison Everlight Solar Studio where the radio can be heard. So he can go and get his attention in the hallway if he needs to.
I sent him outside the building. He had to go 5 floors down. All right, he's literally in the doghouse. I'm going to go to Chalmers Jewelers.
Yes, he should go to Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. That's Madison's custom and Madison's family-owned jeweler. All right, what's our category?
Well, the Milwaukee Bucks' chances of getting their ring from Chalmers Jewelers are pretty low. In fact, they're currently behind 10 other teams in the standings in the NBA as of 4:45 today. So do you think Matt knows?
This is East and West.
This total
Yes.
NBA, all
Yes.
30 teams, all 30 franchises. So over under 10 of those teams that Matt Hamilton knows. The top 10 records currently in the NBA.
And you said win percentage?
Yeah, win percentage, and yeah, it'll be pretty easy to figure out.
4.5.
Let's do. Come on, make him honest. After that, make him do 5.5.
I'll say because he's checked out. Like he's just not locked in
Good.
today.
Good.
So all right, so we'll go 5.5.
Yeah,
said?
5.5.
All right, so the over under is 5.5. And what callers are we doing?
I mean, Chris is 22. That makes it tough. Giannis is 34. Caller 3 and 4.
Caller number 3, caller number 4. You'll at least get a $25 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. Maybe it'll be a $50 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse if you pick the correct over-under. Again, the category is 10 teams in front of the Bucks, win percentage-wise, in the NBA. That includes the East and West Conference. Caller number 3, caller number 4. You're at least going to get a $25 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. 844-770-3776. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand. Rah! Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank, with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. Wisconsin football searching for a new general manager. Max Steinecker, formerly in that role, now moving to USC, according to reports on Tuesday. Steinecker followed Luke Fickell to Wisconsin from Cincinnati. The 24-year-old rising star going up in the ranks as one of college football's top off-field staffers. His key contributions, recruiting. ESPN ranks the Badgers' 2025 class at 31st in the nation. This includes 2 recruits in ESPN's top 300 players. Time to see how the recruiting team now will move forward with spring ball around the corner.
Get Pella windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit Pella at the Neary Spring Home Improvement Show February 14th through the 16th.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At MadisonWeightLoss.com, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally, and safely with no drugs or injections. No prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, or exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can lose weight quickly and keep the weight off for good with an easy-to-follow maintenance plan that includes ongoing personal support. And our program costs half as much and works up to twice as fast than most other programs. Go to MadisonWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation now.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. Madison Weight Loss is the real deal. I was able to drop 40 pounds simply by changing what I eat. This program really works. Schedule a free consultation to see how the program can help you achieve your goals at MadisonWeightLoss.com.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or 2. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation now at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Outside in. That's what we call our Siding Unlimited showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. All the stuff defending the outside of your home against Wisconsin's weather displayed inside. Many siding options and colors, plus full display of Pella windows and patio doors and roofing too. Wisconsin's own Siding Unlimited, 4-time National Pella Platinum Premier Contractor of the Year and proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, awaits you inside our showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. SidingUnlimited.com.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. Metro Ford is also the home of the 2 years no-charge maintenance offer on new vehicle purchases, making it the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at MetroFordofMadison.com. That's MetroFordofMadison.com.
Hi, it's Eric from Canopy Wealth Management. Our years of experience have prepared us to guide you through your life transitions. Our local professional team brings over 90 years of collective experience in the wealth management industry for the benefit of our clients. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started on your financial future today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
The Bucks have made their move, trading Khris Middleton for Kyle Kuzma.
Very much the right move for the Milwaukee Bucks. They've been desperate to get younger. They needed to get younger.
React with us here all day on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Late again to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Matt Hamilton continues to not be able to be on time. We are in the Everlight Solar Studio. What's that?
You kicked me out of the studio, Jim. What do you mean I can't be on time?
The commercial break.
I heard the thing bump back.
You can
so
come
I
back
in.
in commercial break, though, Matt Hamilton.
Well, I can't hear when it's commercial break because you kicked me out to the hallway. I've got to guess.
Walked into the Everlight Solar Studio as the music was playing.
And then I left.
He walked in from the office, too.
Right, because I tried
playing.
to give it I don't know how long Jim just goes on.
What are you doing out there? What's going on?
I walked out there and came around, and I heard the music bump back in, so I came in here. I was out in the hallway.
I don't know, Matt Hamilton. Lock it up. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Someone's an angry fella today. Are you that mad that Khris Middleton left?
Don't spin this on me that you can't get back in the studio in time. Primetime War Shine, Jim Rutledge, Matt Hamilton with you. It is preposterous. All right, so we stuck it to you for a minute to win it. Let's get into it.
Will they beat the odds?
I say everything with pure confidence, whether I think I'm totally right or not.
Or crumble under pressure?
I legitimately know one of these. I legitimately have one.
This is the Minute to Win It, presented by North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, with 3 locations in Madison, DeForest, and Verona.
Yes, Matt Hamilton, since you're misbehaving, we want to give you a hard category today. And because the Bucks are desperate to make any move because they are currently sitting at 11th in the NBA standings. Now, this is Eastern and Western Conference combined. They currently have the 11th best record in the NBA. So, we need you to guess the 10 teams who have a better record than them right now.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, Matt Hamilton, your timer starts now.
The Thunder.
Thunder have the best record in the NBA, 30-19.
Probably Cleveland.
Cleveland is the second best at 40-10.
The Nuggets.
The Nuggets currently have the 7th best record.
Okay.
They're 31-19.
Who else feels like they're doing good this year? Maybe the Timberwolves? I'll go for it.
T-Wolves not up there this year, as of right now.
Oh, Celtics?
The Celtics have the 3rd best record, 36-15.
Are the Knicks any good? Let's go to the Knicks.
The Knicks have the 5th best record.
Okay.
Currently got 5.
I want to say maybe... I don't think it's the Hawks.
He's hitting the wall, Jim.
And it's Orlando Magic?
The Orlando Magic are not in the top 10.
Let's see.
Paulo Banchero was out most of the year.
Gotcha. Okay. The Suns... Okay, I guess I'll shoot for it.
10 seconds. The Phoenix Suns with Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, the big 3.
Yeah, not really doing it.
Not in the top 10. They're also, did you see that the Suns are apparently trying to trade Kevin Durant to the Warriors?
To get Jimmy Butler? I don't even understand this.
Okay, the NBA trades, like there's 4 or 5 teams involved. You have to have a roadmap. It's Indiana Jones.
Can I just say this? Thank God that the team that we root for does not have Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is single-handedly ruining the Suns because he signed this contract that was horrendous, and there's a no-trade contract in a no-trade clause in the contract, and he's basically saying, I'm just going to stay with the Suns. And the Suns, for whatever reason, feel like they need to make a move. So now they're like, I guess we'll just trade Kevin Durant and get Jimmy Butler, and and that's what we'll do. Like, just eat it. But Bradley Beal, who is, I don't know, what is he, the 25th best player in the NBA?
He currently comes off the bench.
Yeah, so 30th best player in the NBA?
I don't know.
He's a good player.
Is the Bucks situation that much better than the Suns?
Yes, because they don't have some turd out there being like, I guess I'm just going to stay and ruin your franchise.
All right, well, yeah, they don't have that weighing them down, but their record is actually only 2 games behind the Bucks.
Yeah, I know, but still, could you imagine Khris Middleton, how his legacy would change? He's like, nah. You guys are just stuck with me.
Khris Middleton, all-around good guy, as we all know.
Right, but that's what I mean. Like, Bradley Beal, comes across incredibly selfish. I understand you don't want to move your family and all that, but you're getting paid an exorbitant amount of money. Your play does not match your salary, and now as a bench player, you're holding your team hostage. Like, what an awful time to be a Suns fan.
Well, Matt Hamilton was holding us hostage by standing out in the hallway earlier. How do you do today, Jim?
Is he Bradley Beal? What did he end up with?
He got 5.
Fell short. 5.5.
See,
he wanted to give you. He wanted to put it at 4.5, but I said no.
That's the tax.
The way he's behaving
that was the
today.
Tax. The tax for the behavior today.
Yep.
Oh my God! Of course you did. All right. Well, tell me. Let's give me the whole order. All 10 of them.
All right. So you got the top 4. Or actually, you got 4 of the top 5. You got the Thunder, Cavs, Celtics as the top 3 records in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Grizzlies are at 4. They're at 34 and 16. Yeah, they're really good. Even though John Morant, I'm pretty sure, doesn't play anymore.
Doesn't play well anymore, at least.
Doesn't play well and doesn't play, period, I'm pretty sure. And then you got the Knicks at 5th. Then the Houston Rockets have the 6th best record.
I don't think I would have got that one.
No, 32 and 18. They're a very solid team this year. Then you got the Nuggets, 31 and 19. Then there's the Los Angeles Lakers, have the 8th best record. 29 and 19. And then the Pacers are still above the Bucks, 28 and 21. And the Clippers also 28 and 22, both ahead of the Bucks at 26 and 22.
Man, I didn't have any faith in the LA team, so I guess I should have had more faith in them.
Yeah.
I got it. If I just would have said LA, that would have got both of them.
Would have gotten both. That's the old 4-point play right there.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh God, I would have been so mad if he had gotten it today. Honestly, I'm honestly like, congratulations to Noah and Madison. He gets that $50 gift card once again. His newborn child and he are going to be eating good at North and South.
Fantastic.
But I'm just elated. That
Why
Matt
were you
Hamilton
cheering
didn't get
against
it.
me?
Because the way you were behaving, you're just waddling off, just not paying attention. You look like Kyle Kuzma
so
out there.
different from what I normally do.
Well, and that's maybe I'm just fed up with it today, Matt.
Man, he goes to Milwaukee for one show, sees that his hosts sit in the studio the whole time.
Well, no,
and
that's not even true.
Now he's like, I gotta bring it here.
You saw how radio hosts do a job and they stay in the studio and they brainstorm during the break and don't wander off to get random attention.
Yeah. Well, no, that's actually not the case. Kyle Wallace is talking to a lot of people in the break, but he's back in his chair when the clock strikes.
Okay.
Now, that other guy, Brad Norman, excuse me, Ben Brust doesn't even show up to work most days. So
right,
is he still on the show?
He was today. He was today. He had a tummy ache the previous 2 days.
Oh, really?
He had a tummy ache.
Him and Colin Cowherd.
Yeah, he did.
I don't think I've ever called in sick just because I was sick.
I wish you did.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I've never been. I mean,
I've never really been
I don't really
here
get sick.
super sick either.
Yeah, I don't really.
Yeah.
I've had like the sniffles, but it's never been.
Are
It's
you
not
just
like I'm coming in with a cough.
And he's always been responsible. Like, hey, I did this. It's not COVID. You mind if I kind of come
I
in?
remember.
Yeah. So Matt's good on that. Matt's good
I'm
on
good.
sickness.
Yeah, I just don't show up when I'm curling or I have other really fun things to do.
So it's the curling illness that gets you.
Yeah.
So again, for the record, none of us have any problem with the curling or even the extracurriculars. It's the forgetting.
The forgetting to come back into the studio.
Or forgetting to tell, not even like us, but like the only time you run into issue is like, oh, I forgot I have to do this golf thing or this popped up and now I can't do this.
It's been a minute since I pulled that shenanigans.
Right, I agree. So
I'm slowly getting more professional. I'm becoming a real radio host. It's just taking a little more time.
God help Matt Hamilton if he actually has to get an actual professional
So
job.
is today
because
a
a
setback?
professional radio host is still like 70% professional. And that's not you. I mean, me include like all of us. Like radio hosts in general is still not like a professional job.
Yeah.
As you're in a
don't
USA
really,
curling
I don't really
winter
think I'm
hat.
shooting for a professional job.
That's what I'm saying. So be on time so you don't have to go look for one. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
This is Monte Ball.
Monte steps to the right, dashes, reaches, touchdown.
You listen to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center Update brought to you by Milwaukee Brewers Baseball on ESPN Madison. Listen to every game this season, starting with opening day on March 27th, right here on Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers Baseball, 100.5 ESPN. And speaking of homes of Milwaukee sports, we are the home of the Milwaukee Bucks, who have departed with longtime wing defender and scorer and one of the all-time great Bucks, Khris Middleton, being traded to the Washington Wizards today. The Bucks dealing him for Kyle Kuzma, along with former UW-Milwaukee Panther Patrick Baldwin, and a second-round pick from the nation's capital. The Bucks sending Khris Middleton, along with rookie A.J. Johnson, and their own second-round pick out to the East Coast. Head over to ESPNWisconsin.com to hear more from the NBA beat on all the trade deadline moves and any possible moves the Bucks could still be making now that they're under the second apron. Also, listen back to Eric Name of The Athletic. Bucks beat reporter was on Williams House this morning, breaking down all you need to know and the legacy of Khris Middleton. And then coming up later tonight, Bucks pregame starts at 5:30 as they take out the Hornets out in Charlotte. Jim, Matt, and Molly ends at 5:26.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
This is the end of an era in Milwaukee. It is a surprise when you trade one of the greatest players in franchise history. To be clear, that is what Khris Middleton is. He is one of the greatest players in Bucks franchise history.
How would you describe what Khris Middleton means to you?
Khris, you did it, huh? You f***ing did it.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
Jim, Matt, Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. I am Jim Rutledge. He is Matt Hamilton.
On time.
On time. Primetime Wollersheim behind the glass. If you are just tuning in and are under a rock, the Milwaukee Bucks have traded Khris Middleton, A.J. Johnson. Who is A.J. Johnson, you ask? Good question. He was picked by the Milwaukee Bucks last year in the first round. Not an NBA player. And then they also traded the second-round pick for Kyle Kuzma, Pat Baldwin Jr., who will likely never play for the Milwaukee Bucks, and then a second-round pick. So essentially, they traded Kyle Kuzma for Khris Middleton. And it's the end of an era. Khris Middleton is a Bucks Hall of Famer and top 5 Bucks player of all time.
Number 3 in scoring for the Bucks all time.
Thanks to Gabe Netizel for that. You can listen back Wisconsin on Demand, Apple, Spotify, any of those great places. We do have a Siding Unlimited poll question. And will the Bucks win another championship with Giannis? Right now, 60% of you say no. That's you can chime in on the Carlos Talking text line as well, 844-770-3776. Less is more. And we've been kind of just talking about the fallout of the Khris Middleton trade. And is there another trade to be had? I agree with Gabe Netizel, who said this with us. The Bucks are going to do everything they can to make another trade that makes sense for this team. That's part of the reason why they made this Kyle Kuzma trade. Is I believe they think that they can do one more move and kind of replace Khris Middleton with 2 players, which normally I hate, but the Bucks actually lack depth of an overall, not even like starter depth, I mean just overall depth as a roster.
Yeah.
And so adding more players who are competent, I think could give the Bucks a chance of like, hey, with a healthy Giannis, with a healthy Dame, and then Kuzma's this great role player type guy as a starter, and then you have Brook Lopez. And then all of a sudden, you throw in another player who can do some things with some of the young guys, and maybe catch lightning in a bottle. Again, for me, the Bucks have no chance of winning the NBA title, but it would be a massive win if they get the Eastern Conference Finals. But at bare minimum, they need to get to the semifinals.
Yeah.
Otherwise, all bets are off as far as the future of Giannis.
Well, yeah. Giannis he's obviously going to gut it out this year with whatever, but if the Bucks show no signs of getting better, if you're Giannis, Would you blame them for wanting to go somewhere else?
No, they have, I think, in my opinion, they have till next trade deadline to show Giannis they have a legit championship contender.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we definitely could see a Luka-type move.
How confident are you that they're going to get out of the first round? Like, at this point, we looking at some of the teams, because we just played it a minute to win it, the teams currently who have better records than the Bucks. Like, if we run through the teams in the Eastern Conference who are currently in the playoff picture, like, there's 9 other teams. The Bucks currently are the 5th seed right now.
So 20. They play Indiana?
So Indiana would be just ahead of them.
So that's they put 4 or 5, right? Is that how it starts?
No, it would be 3-4 after the play-in games.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I think we're
so the Bucks
underestimating.
would currently be playing the Knicks.
I think we're underestimating Giannis and Dame. Like a healthy Giannis and Dame in the playoffs should be able to kind of get them to the semifinals. Just the two of them.
So I actually read this wrong. It would be the Pacers-Bucks again. So it's a rematch of last year.
And again, I think a healthy Giannis and a healthy Dame and the rest of the roster being healthy should get the Bucks to the semifinals.
Do you think last year, if Giannis had been healthy, they would have gotten to the semifinals against the Pacers?
They would have beaten the Pacers.
Yeah?
Sure. Yes. This team, to me, has a roster that's good enough to be a little bit short of the Eastern Conference Finals, and then with a little bit of luck, they can get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
And then
they're not NBA.
maxing out there?
I mean, I guess wing and a pair. I feel like they lose. They get swept or like 4-1 in the Eastern Conference Finals if they get that far. But that's a win. Probably Boston. Although Boston's not
Boston
quite.
or Cavs.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter which.
Who's the star on the Cavs that's making this team tick? Or is it just like this is a team that just clicks together?
I'm blanking on his name, but the guy from the Jazz back in the day.
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell, right.
Yeah, and they just have a great all-around team. They have, like, bigs.
It's both. I mean, so they have Donovan Mitchell. They're a little bit like Oklahoma City.
Okay.
They have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's the star, but then they have a bunch of really good players. And they're not even who's the big that they're missing? Chet Holmgren for Oklahoma City. They'll be getting back at some point. They did also add Daniel Theis from
Daniel Theis.
They added him, too. So a player that adds a little bit of big for Oklahoma City. Who's coming to town in, I think, March.
Oklahoma City is?
Yeah.
Oh, we got to play them again?
I guess so.
Did you watch that game on Monday?
I listened to it. I mean, granted, I don't feel that bad because literally nobody started that was worth a damn for the Bucks.
I'm pretty sure the average...
Nobody started that was worth a damn for the Bucks.
Oh, look at this guy. A wordsmith.
Swish!
All right. Speaking of wordsmith, Matt was very chuffed that he had this audio in his head from Giannis talking about Khris Middleton. Endearing, but also not very complimentary.
His pace. It feels like whenever he's on the floor, you guys move as a team. You get into things. Just kind of what does that mean?
You have to. It's like overcompensating because he moves like a turtle, and we have to move faster for him. Defensively and offensively. So it's just a habit that we form as a team. We know Khris is not going to move as fast, and when he's trying to move fast, he's a little bit faster than a turtle. So we just have to, kind of do that extra work for him. Khris knows. He knows.
A little bit faster than a turtle. I mean, that right there to me, like I said, I heard that and I was like, it's fun. It seems like it's in jest, but that's a sign. And like part of me, at least at the time when I saw this, I think this came out on like January 19th. So, a couple weeks old. But the whole idea behind it was, I think, what Giannis started with is everyone has to move faster. Like everyone's faster on the court with Middleton out there. To me, kind of, he's like a nucleus, right? Like he is the guy who's helping set everything up. He's the brains of the operation. And then when you kind of look into it a little deeper, it's like Giannis said, they were compensating for something, and that's Middleton's lack of ability to move around, get as open as he needs to be the effective shooter he was. Because that was his thing. Like, everyone can be a better shooter when they're open. And to get open, you need to make quick moves and get open. And if Khris can't do that anymore and has to shoot with a hand in his face, he's not going to be as effective. So this is eventually, it was the right move, but that was like kind of eye-opening to me that this was probably it for Khris a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, Khris, I think at his best had NBA level, like average athleticism. Obviously, elite athleticism for most human beings, but NBA
fellow
average,
Olympic gold medalist.
He's way more athletic than you. even now.
Yes.
But
I agree. My ankles are in
But
better shape,
also,
though.
he probably could not curl at all.
Not with those ankles.
Yes, and knee issues. So, yes, you do have that over him.
Yeah.
But I think that.
But that's about it. That's the extent of it.
Yeah, you wouldn't score a point on the basketball court.
No.
So, take that for what it's worth. You do have that advantage that your sport does require functional knees and ankles.
Yeah.
So that does work against some of the NBA players if you try to go against them.
It's
on ice.
Yeah, in my sport.
In your sport. Look, you can drive on ice, you can drive on snow, you can drive through anything with my big blue truck from Simon Chevy in Mount Horeb. You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simon Chevy in Mount Horeb. Go see Aaron out there. Go see Tyler out there. Go see the whole team at Simon Chevy in Mount Horeb. You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simon Chevy in Mount Horeb. We're going to throw some stones wrapping up the show next.
The Khris Middleton era is over in Milwaukee.
This is the end of an era. For the last 12 years, it has been Giannis Antetokounmpo and Khris Middleton.
React to the Bucks blockbuster trade right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of Bucks basketball.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed Wisconsin business technology company. 20-year James client Daniel Bertelson, CEO at RE/MAX Preferred.
Reliability and consistency are the key to any successful business, and for our networking and digital solutions, they've been that right along with us for all these years.
Local reliability and consistency has also had a positive impact for Baker Manufacturing. Purchasing Manager Jennifer Wilger.
It helps keep us efficient and productive, and we can keep our minds on what's really important, and that's taking care of our customers.
And Josh Gavel, Service Manager with Kirsch Appliance, also depends on the reliability and consistency of local service from James Imaging Systems.
Yeah, you get somebody that knows what they're doing, come in here and get it done in 5 minutes, and we're not having to take our time to do it.
Go with local. Go with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit condonjeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly opened Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
The Bucks have made their move, trading Khris Middleton for Kyle Kuzma.
Very much the right move for the Milwaukee Bucks. They've been desperate to get younger. They needed to get younger.
React with us here all day on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, live from the Everlight Solar Studio. Matt Hamilton, Jim Rutledge with you. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
You lit liquor.
Molly Brown not here. We are taking up the Bucks basketball coming up in about 15 minutes here on ESPN Madison. Gabe Netizel on the call. You can see us, Matt Hamilton and I, on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. Tomorrow, you can see me along with Pablo Iglesias and new Badgers quarterback coach Kenny Guyton, who was the wide receivers coach for the Badgers last year, Ohio State quarterback back in the day. And it's a very we talked to him last week, so we're excited for everyone else to be able to see it. Very insightful interview. I think you're going to be excited about Badger football after hearing from Coach Guyton. But again, the Bucks take on the Hornets tonight. The Bucks 26-22. The Hornets bad. 12-35. Pregame starts at 5:30 here on ESPN Madison. Before we get to throwing stones, I'm going to tell you about winners. Go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. That's where winners go. Millions of dollars are won every single weekend at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. So what are you waiting for? Go be a winner and go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Let's throw some stones.
1, 2, 3,
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
That was cooler than being cool. Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out.
I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
Yeah, guys, and whether it's hot, cold, or just chill, why can't some professional basketball teams read the room every once in a while? Or read the hallway walking into the stadium? Because the Milwaukee Bucks, after trading away, no, they haven't officially announced it, trading away Khris Middleton today to the Wizards, are playing the Charlotte Hornets, as we mentioned, coming up here at 5:30 on 100.5 ESPN. But the Milwaukee Bucks playing out in Charlotte, and the Bucks social team had to make sure maybe traded Khris Middleton today, but hey, still got to get the walk-in pictures of Khris Middleton not there alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard, but Giannis and Dame walking in their nice outfits to the game, and the social media team said, hey, we need to post these today, right, guys? We know we just traded one of our franchise legends, but why don't we make sure that the cool NBA fits that guys wear walking in, we got to make sure that all the fans see those. But all the fans in the comments are only saying, where's Khris? Wonder what he's wearing today. Just destroyed this team, took the heart and soul. Don't you feel like just NBA teams, I understand, like there's a point of like being active on social, being up with trends, but read the room when something like this happens. Like you don't need to post the walk-in photos of the guys on the day you trade away one of your franchise's best players. Like just do it another time. Matt, am I being an old grumpy old man, 45-year-old, 25-year-old?
Maybe a little bit. Like if they're doing it every time they're on the road and those walk-up shots and they're,
I believe they do it for every game, road and home.
Yeah, so if that's just,
let me add context to this. Presented by Razor.
Well, okay. I didn't want to mention. I didn't want to give the free.
Okay, but like
you can't make it up later.
No, you can't.
No. That it's just something that's required that they have to do, and I understand. Like I think all the comments of "we miss Khris" and everything like that are totally justified. But the Bucks, they've got obligations they've got to meet, and if part of it,
obligation to the fans,
and they're going to come out with a Khris Middleton tribute video. Like they will have. Like first of all, let's be real. It's not it's officially unofficial. At this point,
officially unofficial.
Like it's not
like
done,
it's complicated on Facebook.
I know that. No, like I realize the Bucks haven't even announced
official.
this yet. It's unofficially official. Nobody has. The Bucks haven't announced it.
Yes,
true. The Wizards haven't announced it. This isn't fully done yet, so the Bucks have to go with the status quo and as business as usual. Yes, I get it. Fans can be upset. I think it's a little weird that the timing's not perfect right now, but it is what it is. Life goes on. The Bucks have an obligation to a partner that they have to meet.
Jim, am I being a curmudgeon?
Yeah, but also I think I'm actually at this point, especially on that trash site, Twitter. I don't know why any.
You can find these on Instagram too.
But are they better on Instagram? I feel like Twitter at this point is basically begging for everyone to be a complete ass, and also how many of these things are real. I feel like bots even get involved in this. If I was a team or an organization especially, I would turn off comments on everything.
Especially on a day like today.
But yeah, but also like just in general. like especially on Twitter where it's extra toxic, I would be like, no, you don't even get a chance to talk to me. I'm posting this, especially a paid post. Nah, I don't care about your opinion. The guys are wearing the clothes. That's what it is. Shut up. Like, honestly, I wish more teams would be like, and more organizations would be like, you know what? Comments are the downfall of the society. People get in the comments and they say dumb things and they think it's okay.
Keyboard warriors, man.
So, like, I am I'm actually anti-comments because people chime in on the Carbos Talk text line 844-770-3776.
Comment on the
But wait, we have their
Carbos
phone
Talk text
number
line.
and then they give us their name or where they're at. You're owning your comment.
Fair.
The vast majority of comments on social media are also just anonymous people.
And if they don't sign their name, what are they, Matt?
Cowards.
There you go.
Especially on social media. So I'm anti-comments on social media because honestly, it's just full of the dumbest people, especially on Twitter.
Also, this isn't on Instagram.
They don't put it on Instagram?
No, it must just be a X deal.
Now, that makes the opposite of sense. You would think Instagram would be the place to post something like this.
Yeah, 100%. But
where are the followers at?
I suppose.
I mean, I don't know, but I'm saying that like whichever one has more followers is probably where they.
Oh, Milwaukee Bucks on Instagram have to have tons of followers.
5.5 million, and on X, it's only 2.
Okay, then yeah. I have no idea then. Or it's the other way. They wanted to pay less.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, just like the Milwaukee Bucks. They had to pay less. They had to get out of the second apron. Maybe that's how they got in the second apron.
Maybe that's the shoe that Khris Middleton is. Payless shoes.
Come on. Speaking of Khris
they're
Middleton.
They're comfortable. They're utilitarian, just like
and
Khris
the Bucks
Middleton.
are paying less now. They got rid
and
of
the
them.
Bucks are paying less.
All right, one more question for you guys. The Bucks play the Wizards one more time this year. February 21st, they play out in Washington, D.C. Do you think Khris Middleton is even on the Wizards at that point, and do you think he plays in the game?
I hope not, especially Gabe Netizel, which he's not wrong on, called the Wizards like an unserious franchise and where like players go to die.
They're the only team that has single-digit wins still this season. They have 8 wins.
We all love Khris Middleton. I do hope that he ends up somewhere else.
Yeah.
That could be also holding up the announcement of this.
I think that's the whole thing, is that it's like the holiday thing going to Portland. He was on Portland for what, like a day?
If that. I think it was less.
Right,
Technically,
exactly.
he might have been there for a day, but like the trade was
He never
quick.
landed in Portland.
Yes, but I mean, like his rights may have sat there for a little bit because you're trying to piece together a deal.
Right.
I think the biggest hang-up right now for these deals is the trade deadline is 2 o'clock tomorrow, and I think they're just waiting to see. Because also, like, the Bucks' secondary move could be dependent on this, and there could be a couple other things going on. Like, I'm not even sure if trades that happened yesterday or the day before are necessarily official. All right, we'll be back at it tomorrow. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Go Bucks!
Coors Light presents To Chill